Views here of the northern coastline of Lebanon, where much of this year's rally is being run. The 25th running of the Rally of Lebanon, round 5 of the Middle East Rally Championship. And down amongst the yachts and the rally cars, our man Neil Perkins.
Hello, welcome to Juni on the Eastern Mediterranean for the start of this year's 5th round of the FIA Middle East Rally Championship, the Marlboro Rally of Lebanon. A new format this year to comply with WRC regulations. Service is restricted to one area near the marina, restricted reconnaissance, new stages, a super special in the centre of Beirut this evening, and a bumper entry headed by Mohammed bin Sulayem, the 11 times Middle East champion in a Ford Focus. But he faces competition this weekend from Piero Liatti in a Subaru, Abdullah Bakashab in a Toyota World Rally car, and the local contingent headed by Roger Fagali. Roger, Jean-Pierre, the start of a new Lebanon challenge here. You've both won the event before. You looking forward to it, Roger?
Yeah, for sure. It's not like you call it, it's a challenge. We are good friends outside the rally and good competitors during the rally. So we are hoping me and Jean-Pierre will keep the victory for a Lebanese driver.
Had a great result in Spain this year, second in Group N. That must give you great confidence.
Yeah, for sure, but it's completely different what we are talking about. It's a WRC car. It's completely different, but okay, I'm looking forward.
Jean-Pierre, a new format this year, more compact route. How does that compare with last year's event?
I like it because it's much more. It's easier for everyone to have a practice and because they reduced, to 3 days. So I think everybody is happy.
Piero, welcome to Lebanon. Your first time here. What are your impressions so far?
Yes, for me it's the first time. The impression is very good country. I like Lebanon, food and person, and the stage is okay. Maybe it's a little too fast.
How do they compare with Corsica, Madeira, possibly Catalonia here?
No, it's completely different. There is only one rally in Italy, is Targa Florio name, in Sicily, is the same, because the asphalt is very slippery and the stage is fast and bumping. This is the principal problem for me.
Alex Fiorio came here in '94 and won in a Lancia. Can you win this weekend?
Yes, I think so. Is okay, the car is okay, I win.
A confident man then. Well, starting the Lebanon Rally with car number 1, winner of the event a year ago, Mohammed bin Sulayem, there he is. And Neil Perkins talked with the champ.
Mohammed, a new format this year to comply with WRC regulations. What do you think of the changes here in Lebanon?
It's good. I mean, we saw these changes starting from the beginning of the year, so we are used to it. Definitely they are after the World Championship, and I believe they will get it. It's only fair to give it to Lebanon. Only thing I'd love to see, if the FIA are serious about it, if they promise, they should keep their promise. If they don't see the World Championship coming to Lebanon, they shouldn't waste the club's time.
What about the new car you've got here?
It's better. It's 1 year ahead of my car, and it's 6 months behind the factory. So I'm happy with that.
And a fantastic entry as well.
Yes, it's good. Definitely the quality of the entry is there, and everybody is at least the top 5 are going for the win, and they have the equal chances.
If you look down the entry list, who do you pick out as that one person you fear the most?
Definitely Piero Liatti. Why? Because he has been in the world circuit for a long time. He's born on tarmac. Italy is exactly the same like Lebanon, same mountains, tarmac, twisty, very tight, and he's used to it. So he is a world caliber, so we'll have to watch for him.
Should be a great battle.
Definitely.
Here we have Mohammed in a Ford, Piero, Roger and Jean-Pierre in Subarus. Can you beat them?
I am here to beat everybody, yes. I want to win this race, and I am here not to collect points or anything. So I have one thing to do, and that's to win this race. And I hope I can do it, yes.
It's a more compact format this year. How does that compare, do you think, with the old Lebanon rallies?
Oh, it was much easier for us to recce. It's much shorter and really very sufficient. And I think the organizers are doing a very good job, and we really appreciate what they're doing. It's much better than previous years when I was here. I think it does deserve to go into the World Championship calendar compared to the rallies I've seen in World Championship.
So a strong endorsement then from Abdullah Bakashab. from Saudi Arabia, of course. The fireworks display in the centre of Beirut for this opening stage. An 8:30 p.m. start near the Phoenician Hotel in downtown Beirut. 34 cars starting the event in this once bullet-riddled city, which is now being completely rebuilt. So Mohammed bin Salem, Roland Morgan, 14 years they've rallied together, this to be their last ever occasion. Piero Liati trying hard, but 9th fastest time. In fact, Mohammed was only 23rd fastest on this little show stage. Bakashab was 2nd fastest, but this is what it's really about. Abdo Fagali was 3rd last year and fastest on that opening stage. But meanwhile, we move on to leg 2. Bin Salem and Ronan Morgan lead the start. Nehar Ibrahim is at this stage. Bin Salem not happy with his car on the opening stage the previous evening. Mohammed climbing here from 23rd to 6th place. The Malcolm Wilson M Sport mechanics adjusting the car. 12 times, of course, the Middle East Rally champion. Here is former Subaru factory driver Piero Liati with Carlo Cassina in the pro car Subaru WRC. First visit to the Lebanon, but a man with a great amount of tarmac experience. He wasn't quick on the spectator stage either, but on this opening stage of day 2 climbs to the overall lead. Then on the 2nd stage of the day dropped to 5th place. Abdullah Bakashab in the Toyota Celica WRC. Bakashab had a very good run this year on the Acropolis Rally. Back in the Middle East Rally Championship for the first time in a number of years. Roger Fagali and Ziad Shahab in their red Subaru, driving in such a car for the first time. Roger Fagali, of course, won this event last year in a rather old Lancia Delta Integrale. Jean-Pierre Nasrallah, Yves Bazil, another man who's won this rally in the past. Remember, Nasrallah drove a Toyota Corolla WRC last year in this event, was leading it and crashed out on the 2nd day. A little bit rusty, hadn't actually driven a rally car for a year, but certainly looking very competitive there. 4th fastest on the opening stage of the day, and quickly climbing into 3rd place overall. Veteran here, Yves Loubet in Mitsubishi Evo 6, first of the Group N cars. Loubet has been a regular on this particular event, driving for the Mistral team, which also includes Fagali and Liati. Christakis Toma, winner of the 1999 Tour of Cyprus. Toma drove here last year. It was his first ever tarmac event. Toma started very strongly on that opening stage the previous night with the 3rd fastest, but in fact was to leave the road fairly soon after that particular shot. Originally from the Lebanon, but now based in the UAE. We've seen him many times before. Celica in this new yellow colour scheme. The Damas UAE rally team. He's hoping to get a Corolla fairly soon. This is Abdo Fagali, the younger brother of last year's winner in the number 9 car. Mitsubishi in Group A trim. Running at number 10, Doumit, one of the most experienced Lebanese drivers. Many years ran in Formula 2, driving a Renault Clio, now in Group N. He was an amazing 4th fastest on the Super Special in the middle of Beirut. Now amongst the regular Group N runners we see on all the Middle East Rally Championship events, Sheikh Abdallah Al-Qasimi, Fred Goncentus, the co-driver this time, Mitsubishi Evo 6. Only his 2nd ever tarmac event. Henry Massad, one of 2 Lebanese drivers who have been through these stages many times. This year, central servicing coming up after 5 stages. Servicing's down at the marina here, and Mohammed bin Salem looking quite hot.
Mohammed, it wasn't the best of starts last night, but it's been a struggle today.
Yes, I think I'm just worried about the setting of the diffs. I'm not in control of the car, and it's not safe. In a few places I just went off. Maybe my setting was not the right setting. Definitely the other guys going very quick, but this is not my pace. I mean, last year same, where I cannot even keep up with some of the old times, which means that the car is better, you see, so there's something wrong with the, I mean, it's supposed to be better, so something wrong with the setting.
Abdullah had a puncture, lost 3 minutes. Do you take heed from that and think it's a game of cat and mouse? I'll wait and see what happens?
You see, you cannot, you know, just keep on waiting for, that's not the right way to do it, but definitely I would say just try to keep on close to them, and if you cannot be the fastest, just as close as you can.
Surprise leader of the Rally of Lebanon by just a few seconds, hometown boy Roger Fagali.
Roger, what a fantastic start. Did you expect to be leading after 5 stages?
That's our purpose in this rally. For sure this is my target, but okay, the lead's okay, but I had a problem from the first special stage after 500 meters. I had some electronic rear diff problem, so it was a little bit slipping on some corners. I can't take it very to the maximum on the hairpins or something, but it was okay. The last stage I disconnected the electronics, all the electronics, and I tried it mechanically. It was very hard to drive, and I was so understeering. That's why I had a small touch, not too much. But
are you taking risks?
For sure. For sure, to be leading in front of Piero and Jean-Pierre and all the WRC cars, for sure. I'm taking risks, but if I had the electronic diff working, I think I will be more comfortable. Not I mean by times it will be the same maybe, but I would be just very, very comfortable.
A little bit of damage on his car though. Meanwhile, Piero Liarti some 19 seconds behind Fagali. And Neil Perkins talked to him at service.
Piero, a good start for Subaru, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, but are you surprised by Roger, the pace he's shown today?
Yes, for me it's a good surprise, but it's very difficult this stage because sometimes it's slippery, sometimes no, and this is difficult, very, very difficult for me.
What about the organisation here this weekend so far, what you've seen?
The rally organization, yes, everything is okay, no problem during the rally, during the stage. Are a lot of people. Nothing is okay.
The number 5 Subaru of Jean-Pierre Nasrallah had put up plenty of consistent times and moved up to 3rd place overall, 14 seconds behind Liarti. Observing the event this year for the FIA from Australia, Gary Connolly.
Gary, we're halfway through day 1 of the Rally of Lebanon. What are your impressions of it so far?
Well, I think everyone seems to know what they're doing. The marshals are on the ball. It's a very challenging rally, obviously, from looking at the times out at the front of the field. Everyone's very friendly and seems a great environment.
Has it got what it takes, do you think, to make the World Championship?
Well, that's really not my decision. That's up to the FIA to decide. All we do is a report, and we send it to the FIA, and they'll ultimately be the ones who will decide.
What do you look for in particular this weekend?
Oh, there's something like 200 items that we have a checklist to complete for, and everything from safety to the way the marshals work to control of the spectators, the layout of the itinerary, the layout of the service parks, things like that.
A favourite spectator point near the village of Adonis is 9 kilometres into the 7th stage. Mohammed bin Salem and Ronan Morgan record a 5th fastest time here. Still unhappy with the settings on the M Sport Ford Focus. They are subsequently 2nd quickest on the Marina stage. So they climb to a 4th place overall. But competing on the 10th and final stage of the day, I have to tell you, Bin Salem's car burst into flames. Both Mohammed and Morgan were taken to hospital with some burns, but are now both happily recovering. The car, however, burnt to a cinder. Meanwhile, Piero Liati starting to put pressure on Roger Fagali. Bakashab still suffering from that early puncture, and then had another puncture on the Surat stage, so was in 6th place overall, some 7 minutes adrift of the leader. Roger Fagali, who led the rally from the early stages, finally succumbed to the pressure of Piero Liati on special stage 10, slipping just a couple of seconds behind the more experienced Italian. Liati and Fagali started to pull away from the other competitors on the 2nd day. Nasrallah in 3rd place, and the younger Fagali up to 8th place overall. Jean-Pierre Nasrallah then in 3rd place, set the 4th fastest time of special stage 7. Excellent action here in Lebanon. A lot of fans cheering the cars on as well. Cheering on Jean-Pierre Nasrallah through the village of Zayn and the famous Joseph's Jump. We'll be back in just a few moments on Sky Sports. Welcome back. Well, that's no rally car, is it? But the enthusiastic fans here waiting for the next bit of action here in Zayn. Yves Loubet had relinquished the Group N lead. This is the number 7 car of one of the 2 Cyprian teams in the rally, Christakis Toma and Andreas Chitodolides in their Evo 6. Back at the Marina for service. The talk was, of course, of the fire to Mohammed bin Salem, but nevertheless Piero Liati was happy to lead the event.
Halfway through the Rally of Lebanon, you must be pleased with that first day.
Not easy, because easy is the 2nd time when I understand where the corner is slippery. This is good for me.
This afternoon you've beaten Roger on some of those stages, and now you have an 11-second lead tonight, but what do you do tomorrow morning now?
Well, for me this is is okay for this moment. Non-maximum attack all time. The 2nd time we push a little more, and nothing else.
But there were problems with the active diff on Roger Fagali's Subaru.
Roger, that's been a tough day. Do you take your hat off to Piero and say, well, experience counts this afternoon?
Yes, okay. It was a really tough day. I was so happy competing at such a level. It's amazing. I was a little bit scared some places, not during the stages, but after I was saying, okay, I'm pushing so hard, and it's Okay, I'm so happy. It was everything okay, and I was matching Pierre some places. It's okay for me.
Only halfway there. What do you do? Only 11 seconds behind tomorrow morning. Do you go flat out?
You know, from the first stage we had the rear diff problem, electronic diff problem. So we are driving the whole day from the, I think, third stage with mechanical differentials front and rear. So the car, the specification of the car is the WRC with the electronic diffs, and we are driving with mechanical diffs. But it's okay. I'm used to it, and I hope they can fix the differentials tonight, and maybe we can try and push tomorrow more.
Can you win?
I hope, huh? I hope. I will try.
Completing the day in third position, the second Lebanese driver, Jean-Pierre Nasrallah.
Jean-Pierre, this time last year you were leading the rally, but it's been a battle today.
Yeah, it's you know, in '99 I did 12 special stage, in 2000 I did 12, and now I have to fight with Roger and Liati. It's too much, I think, doing half a rally each year and coming and be efficient and be fast as they are. I'm doing my best to be constant race, to do the rally, to finish it. And okay, when I have an opportunity, I will not let it go.
Are you surprised that Roger's pushing Piero so close?
No, I'm not surprised. I know that Roger can be that fast. He's very good, and he's going very fast. Okay, Liati is his first time in Lebanon, but he's a World Championship driver, so it's not impossible even for me. It's from half a second to 1 second per kilometer. Even with the tire choice, you can lose that much. So I'm not worried.
Well, there is Abdullah Bakashab's co-driver, Bobby Willis from Ireland, and the two have been rallying since the early 90s. But we can talk to the Saudi Arabia.
Abdullah, you seem to go from one puncture on that one stage, and then again you have the same problem.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong, honestly. It's just incredible. I could not believe it when I 7K into the stage, and I felt that the car was understeering and it was a slow puncture. And suddenly the tire went off the rim, and we had to stop and change again. But still, the stage times overall was very, very good, and I am very happy with the stages. It was if I didn't have any problem, I was second or third, so that's really good. In front of Liati, and sometimes faster than Roger. Sometimes, I'm happy.
Well, there a still photo of the remains of the Ford Focus of Mohammed bin Salem and Ronan Morgan. Bin Salem had earlier reported problems with the steering, but the exact cause of the fire was unclear. But there's certainly been plenty of ferocity, and even the team was surprised how quickly the car burnt out. Well, both drivers taken to a hospital in Byblos. Mohammed released later that day. Ronan Morgan with second-degree burns to the hands and face.
What actually happened yesterday?
We were just in the road section coming from stage 10 and downhill, and then I just noticed, normally I look in the mirror, you see, even if you can't see anything in the small mirror, and then I just saw how the fire was just getting close. I mean, a lot of fire behind me. So I stopped, screamed to Ronan to get out. But Ronan, I think, thought like every time when we say, okay, there is small fire or something, I said, no, this is serious, get out. He went out, and then I was trying to grab the fire extinguisher. But then I saw the fire coming to the doors. I opened the door, and wow, it was a big wall fire. But couldn't go through the first time I went through it, burned my face a bit. Then I jumped in, but then I looked for Ronan, and luckily he was already, of course, out. And then, but Ronan got more severe second-degree burns in his face. But he's okay. I mean, they treated him good here. But we don't know even what caused it.
We understand he spent the night in hospital as well last night.
Yes, he's been, but I checked that he's in good hands, and then he's in a private room, no problem at all with him. But definitely, see, like you think there is nothing, but of course the doctors has to say it. But definitely we were very blessed. I think that nothing happened, and it only ended up in loss of a car.
Did the team know what may have caused it?
Not yet, but Ford is very cautious about this, and then they're taking the car back and to the factory, and they will just look into it in details and see what caused it, you see, but and then I can say, you know, what I felt before only, and then they will make it up. I mean, what's left of the car is nothing, but definitely it was only a matter of seconds, yes, but thank God we are both in good condition and we are here.
You've had a long, distinguished career. Do you take heed from this and think, well, maybe no one's infallible in the future?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, I maybe everybody said at the beginning about, you know, like this is the last round, okay, let's give it to Ronan, and it's a good present to give it to him. But definitely I said, now 14 years of this relationship, and we've never been had a scratch in a rally, and we did many, I can't remember how many rallies, and suddenly I said, this rally, I'm a bit worried about it. But you see, like, it could have been worse, but definitely lucky, and thank God that we just escaped in the right time.
Back, World Motorsport in association with Kumo Tyres. The third and final leg of this year's Rally of Lebanon was made up with 12 special stages. The first, called Black, was run at 7:30 in the morning, a bit of mist hanging in the air. All the competitive sections are run twice. This is an 18.2 kilometre stage. Leading the event, the Mistral Team Subaru Impreza WRC of Piero Liati began the day with a 9-second advantage, but here he dropped 2 seconds. In fact, Roger Fagali in number 4 briefly retook the lead, or took the lead. His first ever drive in a WRC car, going really well. Fastest on the opening stage of the day. Jean-Pierre Nasrallah started the third leg in third place. Nasrallah third, fastest here, just 4 seconds slower than Fagali. Incredibly, up to 4th place overall at the start of the final leg was the Group N Mitsubishi Evo 6 of the Lebanon's Dumit Bou Dumit. Local knowledge certainly helping him, but holding it all together. 5th fastest time on the first 2 stages of the final day. Also well in the lead at Group N. Abdullah Bakashab some 14 seconds behind Bou Dumit. But on this stage, the opening stage of the final day, they took 27 seconds off Bou Dumit to move into 4th place overall. Frenchman Yves Loubet there, lying in 6th place overall, 2nd in Group N, about 45 seconds down on Bou Dumit. Rodrigue Arahi in the number 14 Delta Integrale starts third day in 7th place overall, but then he had a couple of punctures. He dropped to 11th place. 8th place starter, the first 2-wheel drive car, Henry Massard in the Golf, in 22nd place overall after a series of mechanical problems, so not a good last day for him. Michel Sala continuing in 8th place, but then on the opening stages of day 3 dropped to 9th. Number 18, the third member of the rallying Fagali family, Ziad, in the Nissan Sunny. He moved up to 8th place overall, but then dropped back to 21st. One of the highest climbers on the last day, the Cypriot Kriakou, to 12th place. The current leader of the Group N Championship in the Middle East Series, Sheikh Abdullah from Sharjah, started the final day in 13th place, but would move up a little bit from there. 21 car, Australian Ron Kremen, former Middle East Group N Rally Champion. Service then after the 17th special stage. Liati had extended his lead over Fagali.
Piero, one loop of stages to go. Do you think 20 seconds is enough now to win here for the first time?
It's not a lot, 20 seconds, but I am very happy because I write in the note which corner is very slippery, and now the second times in the stage is more better for me.
Has Roger made you drive much harder this morning?
Yes, Roger, I think is a maximum attack all time, and me no maximum, but I go too very fast.
Are these stages today slightly easier than yesterday?
No, for me it's not easy. It's more slippery today.
Damage there sustained to the Subaru of Fagali. The winner of the event last year was not going to throw in the towel, however.
Roger, it's still possible to catch Piero.
It's very hard. It's very hard at the moment. Yesterday it was 9.6 seconds. So in the morning we pushed the first stage. We gained 2 seconds, and the plan was to push also the second one. But I had the rear right puncture, as you can see now, and I lost nearly 12 seconds. So it was a big mistake from me. But okay. And then I won the last two now. Very long stages. It was good, but I'm taking 3 or 3 seconds. So I will keep pushing for sure. I will keep this style, pushing, and see what will happen.
Piero expects to be quicker through those stages the second time. How do you answer that?
Yeah, for sure. I know it's very hard, it's very difficult, but I will still drive my driving, and I will still push, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the other Lebanese driver was still in a strong third place.
Jean-Pierre, 5 to go. That top 3 place is nearly in your grasp.
Yeah, really, I don't think we can catch up. And even if we did have to, I think we should have done it yesterday, like for special stage when we started. It was impossible because it's been 1 year I didn't race, and now I feel that I'm getting better in the car, but there's no need to go further.
Piero and Roger having a big battle today. Seconds between them. Do you hope possibly that something happens to one of them?
No, I don't hope. No, I really want them to be both at the finish, but they are really well doing both on concentration. They have a total concentration, and I don't think they will make any mistake. And okay, if there is a tire puncture or something, this is possible.
Yeah, well, of course, this man had a lot of punctures early on, but he was now up in 4th place.
Abdullah, you said yesterday you wanted to retake 4th place. You've got that now. Are you satisfied with today's performance?
No, of course I'm not satisfied with 4th, but I'm happy that the setting we started with was really very good. Now we are starting to do some things like differential suspension, but nothing seems to be working like yesterday. So I'm happy that I've actually got the car set to from the shakedown to the best for this rally. But we're still trying to see if we can do something better. So we're still fiddling with the car. Now we're gonna do something to the rear suspension, since really pushing will make no difference for me, and I have nothing to prove now. So we'll just go as a test, big test for San Remo.
An interested spectator here, the Rogers Clark Scholarship winner, Niall McShay.
Niall, what brings you to Lebanon this weekend?
Yeah, well, we're here helping Abdullah and Bobby out. We're out here doing gravel notes for them.
How's it been?
Yeah, it's very, very good. It's a good experience for myself and Marshall here. Out to see a bit of Lebanon, have a bit of sun, and do a good job hopefully when we're here for them.
You've seen the route over the last 2 days. Do you think the rally's got a chance to make the World Championship?
To be honest, the rally is very, very good. You know, you wouldn't believe it, but it's actually a bit like Ireland. The surface isn't. Surface is for sure quite slippy, you know, but the way the tarmac's broken up and quite bumpy, you know, it is a bit like Ireland. So, for sure, I don't know exactly what it takes to get a rally into the World Championship, but it's certainly a good rally, and I'm sure they're all enjoying it here, you know.
Niall McShay. Final 5 stages of this year's Rally of Lebanon were repeats of those earlier in the day. That included the fabulous 23.5 kilometre Zanduka stage to the south of Beirut in the mountains close to the Bekaa Valley. Some great vantage points here. This has been a section of this rally for many years. Piero Loiati there demonstrating his world-class technique through the two hairpins with co-driver Cassini. But they weren't having it all their own way. They actually dropped 4 seconds on that stage. Patriotic crowd urging on Roger Figali. But it was all to come to naught. The diffs packed up on the Mistral team Subaru Impreza, and they retired 3 stages from the end of the rally. Disappointment for last year's winners. This then the last shot of the fated Subaru. Retirement of Figali meant that Jean-Pierre Nasrallah and Yusuf Basil found themselves suddenly in 2nd place. But of course they had little chance of catching the leader. Liati now some 3 minutes ahead of them. Nasrallah trading times with Bakashab, however, now in 3rd place. Got it, hooking another gear, off he goes. The number 10 car of
having a trouble-free run all through the event.
Now up to 4th place overall, the lead of Group N.
So they are now the 2nd highest placed Lebanese team. Well, still ruining those disastrous 2 punctures early on. Abdullah Bakashab and Bobby Willis. They lay claim to the 2 second fastest times in the final 3 stages. And also working on the tarmac settings for their next World Championship rally. Bakashab eventually finishing some 17 seconds behind Nasrallah. Make that 4 minutes and 17 seconds behind Nasrallah. Yves Loubet, 2nd in Group N. And the old Toyota went all the way to the end. Michel Sala very happy with 6th place overall. Number 11, just 1 minute behind Salah, Sheikh Abdullah Al-Qasimi, finishing 3rd in Group N, virtually assuring himself of the Group N title in the Middle East this year. So back at the finish at the Automobile and Touring Club of Lebanon, Piero Liati and Carlo Cassini win the 5th round of the Middle East Rally Championship. There the final result, the top 10, an excellent rally. Huge disappointment, of course, for Mohammed bin Sulayem, but he still leads the championship with double the points of his nearest rival, Abdullah Al-Qasimi. Piero Liati moves right up to 3rd place. And a final word from Neil Perkins.
Well, that brings an end to yet another dramatic rally of Lebanon. Join us again in the autumn where we bring you a full report from Syria, from the 2nd ever Syrian International Rally. The first time, in fact, that a Western camera crew has been to cover that event. But for now, from all of us here on the World Motorsports team here in Lebanon, it's goodbye for now.